Madume Mzansi ra le amogela mo lenaneong la rona la Rise. According to the World Economic Forum survey, more than 50% of South Africans, young South Africans between the ages of 15 and 24, are unemployed. On tonight's show, we're speaking about creating futures. Welcome to my lovely co-hosts, Liaka Jeno.
Hello.
So, impact, yeah, this terribly high unemployment rate in Mobachimbarona. What impact do you think it has on the community in Saron?
Unemployment is frustrating. I can tell you that much. I remember nahanikil unemployed straight after school. Nehulale pressure engata from Kohai, you better do something with your life. And the Luana Hosa is what is that something? What am I doing tomorrow? It's very frustrating. And you know, your parents by hint every time it's like Hankeka tuba halas, it's all of a sudden, oh, when on nesu tuba di halas, bana bankani bakakobakos kolon kapaba bereka, when no refelesa di halas. No, really, there's extra pressure from everywhere, you know, and
Bizu jamai mo
and I think it makes us more prone to the activity saying right. I mean, call it desperate, and the when on nesufeta maya montlung. You know, osimulona kana dilotabo sugar daddy, transactional sex. And the libona by bona into or unemployed, li desperate, so it's problematic, unemployment.
And any dogunzima futhi because angnayo imali ukuthi ngenze CV. Ngiyawufuna umsebenzi mara anginayo imali ukuthi ngenze CV. So it's very hard. It is frustrating.
Although, can I put the challenge if you look na le tšhelete ya go reka ya airtime o ka nna wa investor also 1 hour ya gore o ye ko internet cafe tse leng gore di communities tse le gore di go kgakala le tsona di na le tsona gore o bone mo CV le di priorities mara ke a go utlwa ke a etsa point ya gago.
So actually was saying Luna, when you were around 18 years old, did you know what you wanted to do with your lives?
Well, I knew my family wouldn't let me not go to school. So I knew not going to
that
school.
That much you knew.
Was not. Marneke serata school. But I actually think that the career that I thought I would follow, and thank God I did not follow, I was going to follow because that is what I thought would impress my family. And the option, I'm very envious of young people now because we even hear of careers, what do they actually mean? You know, the option, and agreed, it's not for many disadvantaged young people. So no, it's going to lawyer, nurse, mistress. Why you just get on the fours and in top 4.
Right.
And then I know my mother is a nurse, my aunt is a mistress. I think law, but I don't think I would have survived a day in a law class.
Komotsa?
Hanekile 18 neke sa itse gore specifically ke batlo study jang. All I knew gore that ke batla go ya go university and I had already spent 1 year of my life by bitsang gap year. By that time. So ke ne setse ke sa itse gore career yona e tlo ba eng. That's what I didn't know gore career ke batla gore e be eng. Mare se ne se le monate ka gore the university that I ended up going to it was a liberal arts college. And that allows you for the first 2 years you can't actually even declare your major. Because like how so you take a little bit of the natural sciences, you take some humanities courses, you take several different classes in order to see what it is that you may want to do. You only declare after your second year. How brilliant is that?
A group of Rise young women by Leko BHP Billiton Career Center who seek advice about their futures.
Hi ladies, how are you? Welcome to the BHP Billiton Career Center. You said as a club that you are here for career guidance, right? So before you can choose a career, there are 4 important aspects that you need to consider. The first one will be your abilities. Abilities are things that you're good at. For example, let's say at school, you are part of the debating team. It means you are a good speaker. So you can turn that into a career and maybe do politics. The second aspect will be your personality. Personality are your behavior characteristics. For each career, they need a certain personality. So that's also something you must consider checking. The third one will be your interests. Interests are your hobbies, things that you like to do. And then the fourth one will be your values. Values are things that are important to you as an individual. We also have exhibitions that can help us when we make career decisions. So we don't want you to just focus on reading about these careers, but we want you to get a good exposure. So for now, we're going to move and go to the center so that you can play with using our exhibitions that can maybe help you.
This exhibit is about changing one form of energy to another. As the current flows, there is also heat that is being lost along the way. So as you can see, we have thermometers that we know that a thermometer is an instrument that measures heat.
What I'm curious about, what kind of career guidance did you receive?
Ronald was mainly our LO teacher. So in the whole LO subject, go ne re kera di assignment tsa go le ipatlela career ya gago gore o batla go ira career efeng. So you will match it with your personality, we will match it with your skills, your your interests. So ne ba lebella dilo tso tletse gore okay ke career efeng e suitang wena wa bona.
Okay. When we come back, we will be speaking to Tammy Chatty from Harambee, an organization that helps matriculants find work after leaving school. Stay tuned.
Re a le amogela gape. Gompieno Khanyi le Mbali ba etetswe ke moeng wa rona Tammy Chatty go tswa ko Harambee. Over to you guys.
Kalebo. Welcome, Tammy. So you work for Harambee, and Harambee is an organization that helps matriculants find work. So can you just tell us a bit more about Harambee and the work that you do?
Harambee is an organization that started about 4 years ago, and it was really started as a business solution to business problems. What Harambee really aims to do is connect young unemployed people with jobs in the business world at the entry level. So the criteria for Harambee are young people aged between 18 and 28 years old. They need to have completed matric, and that's simply because that's what the employers require. They must not have worked for a period of 12 months in a permanent position, and the reason that we have that criteria is because we believe that once you are employed in a permanent position, you build up a network for finding other work and finding promotions and finding opportunities. So we're wanting to really connect young people that are struggling and locked out of the formal economy with jobs that are available in the formal economy.
So tell me, how do you all go about preparing young people? How do you all go about the training process, the preparation process do you all go through?
So we start off, maybe I should take you through our value chain, but we start off with sourcing the young people, and we do that in several ways. One of the ways that we do that is through our internet site. So there's a website called harambee.mobi, and a lot of young people can apply through that website. The other way that we find and source young people is through our teams of people, which we call feet on the street, that literally go out into communities, go and find young people, get their details, and then bring that back into the office. The next stage of the process is to then screen these young people to ensure that they meet our criteria. Some of the criteria I've already mentioned to you.
So you spoke about sourcing young people and the website, but can I as a young person come to your center and just say, I want to join, and how much would it cost? Does it cost anything?
It's absolutely free to the young person.
That's good to know.
So it doesn't cost the young people anything. It's a completely free service to them. You can come into our center, however, we prefer to work on an invitation basis. So once we've screened you and we've determined that you fit our criteria, we will invite you to come in for assessments. And we do several different types of assessments. So some of the assessments is based on numeracy, literacy, and learning potential. So the reason that we do learning potential is because we believe that a lot of young people don't have access to jobs, because organizations believe that numeracy is a proxy for whether you're clever or not.
Yeah.
And we find that because of the challenges that we have with our schooling system, we feel that young people are not prepared adequately to take up jobs with a certain numeracy requirement. So what we prefer to look at is learning potential of the young people, and we find that even where literacy and numeracy scores are lower, learning potential is greater. So we try and harness more of the learning potential and place them, and one of the steps that we follow on with is matching the person to the jobs that are available.
And another interesting thing I read about Harambee is that you guys actually place people with disabilities in jobs. How do you all go about that, and where do you all place them, and how long is the training process for them? Is it different?
Something that we realized just recently was that there are a lot of people with disabilities who are unable to access work simply because they are disabilities, but because they have disabilities. But on the other hand, we've also realized that organizations have targets to employ people with disabilities and are struggling to find these young people. So what we've gone and done is, with our sourcing efforts, found some people with disabilities, and we've put them through our retail and hospitality training bridge, and we are linked up with some retailers who are going to be employing them within the next couple of weeks. So we're still in the pilot stages of this program, but so far it's been absolutely successful. Some of the things that we do have to do, though, with people with disabilities is we need to do audits of the sites where they're going to be working, depending on the disability, to ensure that the person will be successful in the roles that they take up.
Okay, Tammy, someone out there is going for an interview tomorrow. What practical interview tips would you give them?
I would say to young people, in our experience, that sometimes they tell too much of their personal life in an interview as opposed to talking about what the experience is. And I think young people don't recognize the experience that they've had in working with youth groups and teams that they've played in, soccer teams, etc. So stick more to your story. So what we teach young people is tell the story, but without keeping it, without going too much into your circumstances. Rather talk about what experiences you've had, how you've experienced that. And I would give advice to young people to actually go and gain as much experience as they can while they're young. Go and volunteer at organizations. So that's one of the things I would say for an interview. The other one is to practice. Yeah. Practice doing an interview with people that you don't know before you go for an interview. So one of the things we do at Harambee is mock interviews. We help people to sort of calm themselves down, have an interview with somebody that they don't know before they do the real interview. And that sort of preps them and prepares them for the dynamics of the anxiety and the nervousness that they're going to experience. I would say practice an interview with a couple of people. You know, ask a friend to get somebody to interview you. Okay. And prepare yourself.
Where do you find your centers? Where are you all situated and located?
We have a couple of centers. We've got Joburg, and then we've got one in Cape Town, we've got one in Durban, we've got a centre in PE, but we work in all 9 provinces.
What other common mistakes are we making as young people that prevent us from getting employed?
One of the most common mistakes that we found is that young people are not open-minded to what the opportunities are out there. So I think that's one of the biggest things, that we feel like they don't want to take up entry-level jobs because they have this perception of what the entry-level job is, and they don't think optimistically enough about their career path for the future. So they just see the entry-level job and they don't think about, well, if I start here, I can build from here. And if I'm in an organization, they want to be at the top already. So I think that that's one of the most common mistakes, that meeting, their expectations is difficult given the reality of where we are. So I think that that's a mistake that they make. They sort of go in and they go, this is just a job, as opposed to saying, well, this is where I'll start, and from here I'll work my way up. And we've got so many stories of young people that have started at the entry level and have gone on to great successful careers.
Tammy, thank you so much for joining us today. We've certainly learned a lot. To you at home, we'll be right back after the break. Ra amogela gape Lebo le Kgomotso ke batlo le botsa, actually Lebo le Kgomotso ke batlo le botsa ka gore lona le rana di company ga le batla batho gore ba tlo le berekela le lebellang?
There's a few qualities. First of all, the first presentation ya gago through me is probably through email when you send through your CV. And the worst thing is having somebody who's coming out of school give you a 5-pager, your CV. It should not be more than a page. If you're fresh in high school, there's no reason why your CV should be more than 2 pages. Even if you're from varsity, you know, I'm less interested in like say, you know, after 5 years that you've been in the industry, now you're telling me you used to be a prefect at that point. It's like, it depends. The second thing, you have to be specific. You have to send through a cover page that tells me exactly who you are and what it is that you hope to do. That old style, CV, name, age, 42, code, licensing, 8. That doesn't work anymore.
So you're saying we must do the cover page?
Yes,
What's
well,
the
first
cover
of
page?
all,
What do you put there?
a cover page is what tells me who you are and what your ambitions are, and it allows me into the space in your head that tells me that you've done some research about my company. Or you can't say, for example, let me tell you a classic one that I got 2 weeks ago. They basically, it was Dear Khomotso, John, Muruti, several companies, all in one letter.
Yeah, no.
No, Banana, I want to feel a little bit more special than that.
Yeah.
So your cover page tells me everything, and a lot of people like to say, I'll do anything. Desperation does not make you a good candidate for employment. It just makes you desperate. And you know, it's okay to send a CV, but also have the cover letter. That's why I say always have a cover letter that's about 3 paragraphs. This is where you come from, this is where you are at, this is your ambitions, and why my company is a good suit for you.
As much as underselling yourself, ili a no-no. Overselling yourself, it's also a no-no. You must remember, you are not the only person who romelang CV, and we have seen it all. You know, the amount of time you spend, and they can just oversell and oversell and oversell, where it's like, it's like,
What do you mean by overselling?
Yeah, actually.
well, I mean, for an example, somebody did unabereka momogo raise adira unali involved. I'm not saying nasi involved, but ira a specific job. Ha aromela CV ko go nna, ga sa tlhola re ne ke ira this specific job. O se tsa ikhabisitse almost to a point of lying, you know. I was
Why exaggerate?
Danky. Why utlwisisa? And o lebella dijara tsa motho o lebella le nako e berekileng ke 3 months or no, this person cannot be an executive coffee maker of whatever, you know. So it's also being saying, these are my skills, this is what I know, but I spent 3 months, which is realistic and believable and true, and then this is what the skills that I bring myself to.
Manje lebo sesithi sending thathile ngiza for an interview or call me back ngiza for an interview. What stands out about me or as umuntu ozoya interview yini nifunayo, what do you look for, to the way I dress, iyayenza impression?
It's small things and big things. Dress well. And when I say well, I'm not saying expensively. Be clean, arrive on time. The most important thing, be very clear who applies to your thing, and you know the company we apply to. Ne?
Khomotso, o buile ka CV, ne? So ke batla botsa, if I'm fresh out of high school, ke tsenyang mo, like, do I still put in my achievements at Sanko High School?
Yes.
Or do I also put in other things like ke volunteer ko kae?
Well, I will want, if you look at the high school students, they tend to play, I will obviously want the differentiator out of all of them. So of course, how little fresh out of school, that's fine. But you can't have worked 15 years in the industry, like the high school achievements. Then it's like, what have you been doing for that 15 years? So if you're fresh high school, I want to know, have you been taking a leadership role in your school at all? Have you started an organization? And leadership role doesn't necessarily be on the SRC or being a prefect. It just means, what have you led in your community? Most importantly, initiative.
Rona, the other thing about work is a workplace, ne? Ke plek e leng gore o kopana le batho ba bangata. And what I often see, mo batho ba leng gore o mo hirile and stuff, I don't know why, but the bad habits tsa batho ba bang seem to basically be learned faster than the good habits. Sure. I'll give you an example. Utsana mo mmerekong, lunch is from 12 to 1. 3 months later, motho o neng a ntse a ya luncheng ka 12 a boa ka 1. O setsa ikreetse chomi e tlang ka 1:15 ka 1:30. O setsa a kreile ba le ba ba khapanang ba ya ko kae kae. And you say, how do you know, when there are rules, le ga o tsene mo company o kra batho ba di roba. Remember, you are employed on your own. Yeah, but also try the positive stuff, not the negatives, the negative stuff.
But in terms of monate ntho e buang gore tlogela botshomi ko mmerekong tu.
We employ batho permanently. Now what I see, I wouldn't say young people are not motivated. I also think that what happens is that batho do not want to take initiative, whether they are young or old. Success ya mo mmerekong is not only to keep the job that you have, but it's also, it's very easy how se so kreile mmereko to advance forward. But you must also be very prepared to learn, to study, and it does not even have to be formal study. Go go ntle yang go kra motho eleng gore o employilwe as a driver, but their interest in what the organization does, it's so deep. You'll never know another opportunity Norman, you know what, I think that particular person can advance. And how you what motivates you is money. It shows to advance. Some people really invest in themselves and they are very serious about where they are going. So whether it's in the present company that they are in or after 2 years, gain something to go elsewhere.
Right.
It's still a good thing.
Right, it's very much still a good thing. Thank you very much. And remember, nobody owes us anything, but we owe it to ourselves to work hard and be the best that we can be. For more information on Harambee and the show, please kindly follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Mix It Reach. Go fitlha ka nako e latelang, le saleng sentle. Woof, woof.